But this is episode 120, Outdoor Advertising Strategies Every Local Business Should Know. Everyone's obsessed with digital marketing. Yeah, they are. But some of the smartest businesses are quietly winning with outdoor advertising. Billboards, transit ads, local signage, event banners, hyper-local placements still drive awareness. Awareness, there's that word again. Influence buying decisions and support real business growth when used the right way. The problem is most businesses either ignore outdoor advertising completely or use it at the wrong stage of their strategy. In this episode of Mastering Local Marketing, we break down many types of unique outdoor advertising available today and why it still works. If you want to understand how offline visibility fuels online traffic, this episode will change how you think. He's Matt Hansen, she is Lydia, and she is Kat. And you guys are seniors?
Yes,
Both?
I'm a senior.
I'm a junior.
You're a junior,
I am.
and they're both marketing people,
Yes.
basically, right?
Yes.
I'm management.
And management and
Same.
entrepreneurship.
Yes.
When we talk about local marketing, how far down is billboards on your list, by the way? Did it even make the list?
Right.
Did
Yeah,
you ever
right.
think about it? Well, I got to do Facebook ads. You got to do TikTok
Well, what's the
stuff.
last billboard you saw?
The last billboard, I'd have to say probably a law billboard or something.
There's
Yeah,
tons of them.
There's a million
A
of
lot.
those.
Yeah.
Or what's
And
another
why
one?
is
I mean,
that?
fast food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of fast
Truck
food.
stops along
truck
the
stops,
Borman.
yeah.
They have a lot of truck stop billboards. But if you get away from here, you rarely see a truck stop billboard.
Right.
It's just you know that there's 235,000 vehicles a day on 8094. This has to be one of the hottest billboard places in
Oh, yeah.
America. That's why it costs so much
Oh,
for
yeah, it's a
local
fortune.
business.
It's a
I bet
fortune.
local business can't really buy those.
Well, and that's what one of the things that most people, when they think about a billboard, is they think about a printed billboard, right? So you got to print this massive monstrosity thing that goes up on, they've got to install it. It takes a long time. It's got to sit up there for 28 days is essentially what you buy it for. And it's a process, right? So if let's say you make a typo and it's printed and it's going to sit up there for those 28 days because you can't get rid of it. It's printed, right? So that's what everyone thinks of when they think about billboards, outdoor advertising, that kind of stuff. But what I want to talk about today is how we've changed some different ideas that you're probably not thinking about when we talk about outdoor. The fact that, you can buy from your computer at this point. You can get ads up tomorrow. Like I took over Chicago almost a couple summers ago. I bought pretty much every single digital billboard I could find through the downtown Loop area. And it was funny because people are like, I'm seeing this everywhere. And I go, good, that's what I was trying to do, right? But it was one simple phone call, one simple website that I had the ability to go and do all these types of things. So you mentioned fast food. You mentioned truck stops. We mentioned lawyers, right? So let's break that down, because when you talk about fast food, you talk about truck stops, what it is it's location-based, right? So we're trying to get you to come off of the interstate or whatever it is, right? Like they're usually within a half mile of wherever you're trying to go. From the lawyer perspective, I mean, lawyers make a lot of money based on things. So you see, let's drop the hammer and all these other things that you see on every single billboard for a lawyer. And they're making significant dollars, which means that they can afford the return on investment that they're getting from placing a $3,000, $5,000, $8,000 billboard out there. But let's take it back. Let's look at, from a small business, what some of the opportunities that are out there, right? So there are digital billboards that we have at this point. We were talking, I think last week, about Blip, which is you can go in and put a budget in. You can select a billboard that you want to buy, upload your ad, and it's up within like minutes, right?
Remember to talk about Blip at the end of this, okay?
Take
For
notes.
a different project. But anyways,
Okay.
I agree. You can buy it online through the website.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've made it relatively simple to buy these things at this point. So digital is the new billboard, right? So you can still print them, but if you want to go digital, you're paying a fractional price for that billboard instead of paying for the full billboard, right? So it's a lot cheaper. If you want to change your artwork, daily, you could do it daily if you really wanted to. If you see a typo, you can fix it real quick, right? You don't want a typo out there destroying your brand. So there's all these different things, but when we talk about digital out of home, and it's digital O, which is OOH, is the acronym that we use in the space, you can go out there and get traditional billboards. You can get the little billboards that, like, you're walking down the street and you see how those, you can buy those from literally your computer. You can get gyms, you can get restaurant, TVs, gas pumps. Like, there's all these different ones that you can have.
You know what? One of the hottest one has been for the last couple of years. You guys, Adriana, and you wouldn't necessarily know about this one, but in men's washrooms, when you go up there to stand at the urinal, I can't remember the last time I stood at a urinal that didn't have some sort of billboard in front of it. Yeah. And it's very popular. And evidently, for a while there, was really underpriced, and you were able to get a lot more views. And that. And I think it's caught up on the CPMs, but it's another one. And they're putting these basically TVs turned sideways, and that's your digital billboard.
Yeah. I've seen them in the mirrors as well.
We don't got those. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Opportunity. Somebody out there is going to take it and run with it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, is in women's bathrooms? Is it on the back side of the door? No.
I think the only time that there's like any type of advertiser is at P&W. They have like the schedules of what's going on throughout the week everywhere, and they put them and they call it. It's so interesting, and I don't know how nobody else has ever thought of this. It's called toilet times, and they do that in every single bathroom, men's and women's, all over campus.
Yep. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, no,
You know, but think about it, if you're a true entrepreneur and you're like, well, gosh, they do that in the men's room. We have to go in and sit down and shut the door. You would actually maybe just magnetize something that goes up there. It's controlled by Wi-Fi. And maybe even gets
I'm going to move this one on. Like, I don't know where we're going with this one, but this whole podcast is going in the toilet. Oh, sorry, I had to throw it.
See, I need my little sound thing for the
Just think about it. I mean, in the men's one, it's like there's a lot of golf courses that are doing it. There's roofing contractors. There's a lot of people looking to hire. Like, hey, you know, I have some sort of a construction thing, and they're all on these things, right? But maybe we could do that on the inside of women's doors. All right, you don't like that?
I'm gonna move on because there's so many things, so many
other things you do.
Yeah. All right. So another thing that we've seen the rise of Uber, DoorDash, and Lyft, right? So over the last, we'll call it 5 years, from COVID and everything that happened, we saw this rise. And with that, there's a variety of different companies that are now coming out, and they're hiring these Uber, DoorDash, and Lyft drivers to put your ads on the side of their cars. So one company that I used to use, you could just do the door, you could do like 3/4 of the car, but you could do an entire wrap. And what they do is they drive around, and I can literally track the miles of where they drive and see where they're going through the website, right? So if I buy 5 cars, I know the 5 cars drove this many miles, and here's where they went around, and I can see that all in the report that comes back. The other part, which was really cool with it, is I could send them to an event. So think in terms of, in Chicago, we have the Air and Water Show, and lots and lots and lots of people come out. Or let's say a Chicago Bears game versus the Packers. There's lots of people, and I want my ad to be seen as that thing is going on. I can actually send those cars into that area, and they'll stay in that area for, I think it was up to 2 or 3 hours, and they'll just continue to go around that area. So it's like I can literally send these ads wherever I want them to go. It's a little bit of an upcharge, but it's really kind of neat. So first and foremost, we've got Uber, DoorDash, and Lyft cars that are wrapped with your messaging. Now, people are probably going, I've seen some pretty horrible drivers out there. They take the best ones. You can't have tickets and all this other stuff. So they're finding the best drivers. So we've got those 3 different companies that now these cars are being wrapped. They have digital billboards that they'll put on the top of those cars in addition to that, which is called Uber O, and which is OOH. And, you know, you'll see like a digital billboard, almost like a taxi cab, but they only do that for their best drivers. You can do what they call a swarm, right? So a swarm to the individual location for a set number of hours. You could track the miles. You can see where they've gone through a reporting system. And it's like all of these interesting things that you can do. But I can take it one step further. And I know this one kind of freaks people out. But your phone has a mobile ID, like a mobile ad ID on it, right? And as those cars drive past you, there's a computer system that will read your mobile ID off of your phone. And we can take those mobile IDs, upload them into a programmatic digital ad solution, and it will then go back out and target you because it knows it drove past your phone. So as Lydia's eyes get really big,
Yeah,
I think I just...
Why?
Do you notice the
Eyebrows.
trend here? Adriana has seen it many times. Anything that invades your privacy is good marketing.
Right.
That's right. One time, Matt, this is years ago, Matt comes to me and he's like, that exact technology. He goes, man, you know, we could sit here on Indianapolis Boulevard and get this brand new, I don't know what it is. It's kind of an RFID thing then, but now it's your cell phone. And we could know exactly who's going by, not their name and stuff, but their profile. Mm-hmm. And they have this technology. It just came out. And the first thing I said to him was, well, gosh, you know, do you really want to be giving up that information? He went right past that to what great data that is to have about people's ID on their phone. And I've kind of come around to you. I'm like, who cares anymore, man? I just want to know who we're hitting.
Well, you give up how many times have you read a terms, you know, let me read the terms, agree to the terms. Do you ever read it?
Come on.
Yeah, well, if you read it, it's the same with social media. It's the same with your phone. It's the same with anything. You're giving the right to a lot of things just by selecting that checkbox. So if you were to read it, you'd understand that, like, you're opening yourself up, right? So social media is free because you've given up the information that they
Your
can
data.
use to whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So I know you want us to move along, or do you have more on that?
No, go ahead.
So you live in Crown Point.
I do.
So you go downtown?
Like downtown Crown Point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like the stencil billboards they put out on the sidewalk? You ever notice them?
I do when it's something that grabs my attention, if that makes sense.
Like what? What would grab your attention? Somebody's menu written in cursive. Nah, probably
No,
not,
yeah,
right?
no.
Yeah.
It's got to be, you know, of course it comes with the branding of it all. It's just got to have that color. It's got to have that pop to it to catch my attention. I don't know what specifically, but it's just like what you said, the cursive. No, I'm not looking at that.
So you see them a lot.
I don't know.
now.
My kids can't read cursive, so no, just kidding. They don't teach it anymore.
I was like, that would be a
No,
little
that's
learning.
true.
Yeah.
That's right.
They do not teach
Yeah, they
it.
don't.
I don't know if a cursive stencil is going to work for you.
So if somebody has a place where there's enough walking traffic, what do you say to them about their stencil billboards?
Yeah, I mean, you got to realize that a sidewalk, as people are walking, if you can do whatever you can do to get them to notice you, that's what we're trying to do, right? So we're trying to generate awareness, trying to get
Lydia
people.
just said.
Yeah.
You know, what is it?
Right. So I think I've talked about it in the past. We had our home decor store, and we bought the largest wood picture frames that we could find. I mean, they were like dark brown, elaborate, but we put a chalkboard in the middle of it, and then we created a typical sandwich board. And it was, it was probably 3 foot by 4 foot in size. It was huge for a sandwich board. And we would write, different sales and things, different events that were coming on. And we would set that out in front of the store every single day. And everyone would comment like, oh, I love your sandwich board. That's so unique. Mm-hmm. And it would stop people because it was so out of the ordinary. So what you're saying is if you're doing a stencil on the sidewalk or something like that, it's got to be something that grabs your attention,
Right.
right? Like Jim's phone.
I was gonna say it's not. Well, I don't know why it sounded like it was over here, and then
Yeah.
You know, I have forwarded the phones here to my phone.
Yeah.
now. That's what that is. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so you're missing advertising sales right there.
I am. I feel like I'm going to run out of
Yeah.
the podcast and say that's got to be a big buy
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, you just lost that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so-
in terms of those stencil billboards, even in this digital world, I mean, you see a lot of them.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think people have gotten better at it.
Yeah, you've got to be creative. I mean, you got to have some kind of creative way. And I saw there was a post, I think it was on Instagram a while back, and it was a realtor that had taken their yard signs that you see the typical for sale yard signs, but they had added some flair to it. It was a lot of colors. It was a lot of odd shapes. Like they had, I saw one that was kind of like a castle, and I'm like, okay, interesting, right? But why be boring? I think you got to look, how am I going to stand out? How am I going to grab the attention? I mean, we all know what a typical realtor billboard or realtor sign looks like. It's a picture of the real estate agent and their phone number and their brokerage, and that's about it, right? So I always say that I'm too ugly to be a real estate agent because I can't take that picture. But
Come on.
but it's but it's funny. Like, can we do something that stands out, that is so drastically different that people are like, that is so cool, I want mine to be like that? And what you start to see is marketers get creative with these things, and then everyone else starts to follow. So if you can, one of the ideas that I've always wanted to work with a lawn care business, and those lawn care businesses that are listening right now, take this and run with it. I thought this would be the coolest idea. So you've got people that go around and they spray the chemicals, and then they put those little flags in, right? So you see the flag, and it's kind of bent over. It's got a white or a black flag on it, right?
Don't let the kids play
Exactly.
on the lawn for the next 7 days.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you see those. I said, why? You're trying to kill weeds, right? Why don't they make them where it looks like it's a dead dandelion? Put that in there. So it's the sign. You see the sign, it's in there, but it's a dead dandelion, and now you know that's what we were here for. We were killing that.
So you thought my idea was bad about putting magnetized screens on
No,
the
I didn't.
inside
I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't know where we were going with that. Next thing you know, we're going to be, putting little urinal pucks in and everything
my
else. I don't want to go.
goodness.
I don't want to go down there. That road.
So, I mean, always got to bring a takeaway for the small and medium-sized business owner or their marketing department. And I think you guys are probably prime chum for going into working for somebody's marketing department, at least early in your career, right? And I think what happens is many of them come out of your type of classes and they go in and then into the marketing departments, and then they're like, oh, we have to do social media, we have to do a podcast, we have to do everything online. What you're talking about is completely forgotten. So is it more of are you more like telling the small to medium sized business to have an open mind about non-digital?
Yeah, I mean, it could still be digital if you're doing it out
Yeah.
at home, right? But I think what you're trying to do is be disruptive. I mean, I had a conversation with your sports team yesterday about, the potential of launching this campaign, and we were talking about a bunch of different things. And, outdoor was part of the discussion, in the fact that, like, if you want to generate the awareness, you've got to be everywhere all at once. So, if you can create these pieces that are just everywhere. I'm getting hit online. I'm on my phone. I'm sitting at my computer, but as I'm traveling home, or if I'm in my, just driving into my neighborhood, I'm getting things. Yeah, I mean, just be creative with what you can do. One of the guys that I know from years ago, he tried to start a company where he was putting ads on the back of real estate flyers, which seems like a good place to put some advertising, except nobody has real estate flyers anymore. We went to a digital world. So, like, there's all kinds of different ideas that are out there, and I'm just saying be creative. So I'll leave you with this, right? So we were talking about coffee earlier. And coffee, most of the time, we don't want to burn our hands, so you put it in a coffee sleeve. And those sleeves cost each one of those coffee shops money. Why not produce your own coffee sleeves with your brand on it and walk around to all these coffee shops and say, hey, I'm going to give you these for free, right? We'll cover the cost of what you've been paying through the whole thing. We'll cover it as long as you put these sleeves on there. That's a great partnership you create. You're solving a problem for them because now the coffee, if it's costing them $1 to make the coffee, now it's 90 cents to make the coffee.
Yeah.
Right? They're making 10 cents on each piece. Find those collaborations, and that is outdoor advertising. I mean, that is just at its most simplistic self, right? And I saw coffee sleeves recently where you had like scratch offs and you could put offers in there for your company. So maybe it's like a discount code that you can bring them back over. So that's what I'm saying. Like this whole podcast is, I get we're talking about outdoor, but most people think billboards. I'm saying be creative, figure out ways that you can get your message out there, and don't just look at the pre-printed billboard that sits on the side of the road.
Episode 120, Lydia and Kat and our own producer and head of the WJOB Podcast Network, Adriana, are all students at Purdue Northwest. Matt Hansen is a digital marketing professor, and I'm just a simple capitalist here along Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond, Indiana. Thanks a lot, Adriana, like always. Until next time, thanks to you, and until next time, see you later.